guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Carly. I'm a high school teacher, blogger and YouTuber, and I create content about lifestyle, health, fitness and minimalism. And today I'm going to talk about my PCOS and adult acne journey. And I'm not wearing any makeup, and as you can see from the clips before, I do have a fair few breakouts at the moment, and I also am suffering from acne scarring as well. And I just thought that I would keep it real, just so that you can see sort of, I guess, how the acne is affecting me at the moment. And what you saw was probably not necessarily the worst that it has been altogether, but certainly the worst that it's been in a while. But I'm going to take things back to the start and sort of talk about this chronologically, and talk about, I guess, my journey, things that have worked, a whole heap of things that haven't worked, and I guess just my feelings about it and where to from here. So taking it back all the way to sort of high school, start/mid high school, I was getting breakouts, but it was only one or two, not very many certainly, and it was generally only around that time of the month, so I could kind of expect it. It was just your typical teenage hormones, and so that was fine. So I was just trying to take care of my skin. I wasn't wearing much makeup at that stage in life. But when things really started to change was when I was in year 12. I was doing my HSC and I really wanted to have a good go of it, so I was putting a lot of pressure on myself. By the way, if you want to see how I smashed the HSC video, make sure you give this one a thumbs up or comment below and I'll create that for you. I don't want to talk about that now. But yeah, I was putting a lot of pressure on myself. I was stressing a lot, and all of a sudden it felt like my skin just went haywire. I started getting some breakouts on my face, but mostly it was on my chest, stomach, and a lot on my back. It made me super self-conscious. I didn't want to wear certain clothes. I was just really, really concerned, I guess. And I tried every product. I looked and tried all, your acne washes from, the major brands and whatever. And I found that none of them worked for me. And I mean, in my lifestyle, I was trying to be healthy as well. I mean, I wasn't exercising like I am now, but I was going for walks. I was trying to eat healthy. I was trying to drink a fair bit of water. So I was essentially doing all the right things, but really it came down to stress and hormones. And those things were a lot harder to control and deal with. So midway through that year, after putting up with it for so long, I decided that I was going to go see my doctor and go on the pill. And I ended up going on the Yasmin pill, and it cleared up my skin almost immediately. And then from then on, really all I needed to do was sort of deal with the scarring, which would take a while to sort of let my skin regenerate and for it to heal and the scars to go away. But I was super happy with, in terms of the acne, how that was working out for me. And I stayed on the Yasmin pill up until the year that I turned 26. So I'd been on it for like 8 years, pretty much straight. And that year, because I had previously, a year or two before, started looking into chemicals that we sort of put on our body, I was like changing a lot of the personal care products I was using. I was starting to look more into food and healthy living. So naturally, the pill kind of came up in my research to do with all that sort of stuff. And it became pretty obvious to me straight away that the pill was no good for you. Essentially, it controls your hormones, gives you a fake period, it messes up your body. So I was thinking, well, if I'm living this healthy lifestyle, how exactly can I justify being on the pill? So I decided that it was time for me to go off it. I went off the pill and my period came back pretty much immediately, which was great, but also immediately my skin started going nuts again. And at this stage, I was taking even better care of myself than I was back when I was 18. And I was going monthly to the beautician and getting a microdermabrasion facial. They recommended to me the DMK sort of acne line, so I started taking that, the cleanser, I think like an acne moisturizer and like a tonery thing. Even that did not help, and I feel like that's sort of not all natural stuff. I feel like that's kind of heavy duty stuff. And I couldn't deal with it. I wasn't emotionally at a place where I could deal with having acne on top of everything else that was going on in my life. So I decided that I would go back on the pill and wait for a time when I was ready to go off it again. So flip forward to the start of 2018, which was the year I was 28, turning 29. And I decided, yep, it is now fully time to go off it. I'd been living sort of like a healthy lifestyle for a while. I was conscious of what I was eating, what I was putting on my body. I was exercising. I was really trying to take care of my mental well-being. And I thought that that would be a good time to try going off the pill. So I did. And for about 3 months, my period didn't come back, but my acne started to again. And I was a little bit worried about my period not coming back because I had seen videos from another YouTuber, Sarah's Day. She had also been dealing with PCOS, and I knew that a lack of a period could be a sign of that. So I went to the doctor, got like blood test my hormone levels, because I thought it'd be good to just test them anyway after like 10 years on the pill. They came back saying that, yeah, one of my hormones was a bit out, but it wasn't definitive of PCOS. So they sent me to get an ultrasound, and then from that they found the follicles, which was a sign of PCOS. So please correct me if I'm wrong, but in doing my research, this is how I've mentally explained it to myself. The follicles are naturally occurring in your ovaries or fallopian tubes, not sure which one, maybe both. And they help to flush out the egg, so help to move the egg along. But what is bad is when the follicles, there starts to be a buildup of them and they can turn into cysts, and that's the polycystic in PCOS. Other symptoms that I found from researching PCOS can be excessive hair loss, which I have been experiencing, weight gain, particularly around the midsection, which thankfully I haven't experienced too much, but I have been putting like a fair few preventative measures in place for that. And obviously acne, amongst maybe some others, but they're sort of the main ones that I've sort of been dealing with. So yeah, it was just, I wasn't upset necessarily when the results come back saying that I had PCOS, because I had seen so many other YouTube videos of people that had experienced it and were dealing with it. And I knew that it wasn't something, as long as I was taking preventative action or just like, you know, trying to make lifestyle changes and not just letting this happen, it wasn't something that I needed to be overly concerned about. But the acne has, man, it's like really ruined my confidence, my self-confidence. So in previous experiences of acne, I've mostly just had it sort of on my chin area. This time around, I've been starting to get it on my forehead, mostly just like little bumps, which are annoying, but you can always see no matter how much I try to cover it up. But the worst thing about the acne this time has been the fact that it's been on my neck. Now, people do suggest with acne, don't try and cover it up with makeup. I mean, gosh darn, like, I don't have the self-confidence at this point in life to go out in public absolutely rocking acne face, or to go to my job where I'm teaching teenagers rocking acne phase. So for me, I do feel like I need to cover it up. But with the trouble with it being on my neck is that's where you blend the makeup down. You're not applying like slathers of makeup to your neck. So it's almost impossible to cover it up. And I'm also finding that they're particularly sort of around this area becoming sort of nodule-like not your traditional whiteheads, but sort of ones that are sort of under the skin, which can be really painful, really difficult to cover up as well, because you can. So now I just want to talk about some of the things that I've been trying in order to combat, reduce, I don't know, just help out with this PCOS and acne situation that I've got going on here. And I will sort of preface this by saying that I haven't found anything that has 100% worked yet. So I'm kind of still dabbling. If you guys have any suggestions other than the ones that I'm going to mention now, please comment them down below, because I am willing to try anything really. So the first thing I want to talk about is cutting out gluten. So one of the things that I found when I first went off the pill was I was finding myself really bloated, like hectic bloated on a daily basis. Looked like I was, 3, 4, 5 months pregnant at the end of the day. And so I wanted to try an elimination diet. And the first thing I tried was gluten. And I wasn't consuming much gluten, but each day I was having oats for breakfast, and I found that just immediately cutting out the oats, it really cut down on my bloating. And you're probably thinking, well, what the heck does bloating have to do with PCOS? And the way I see it is that bloating, the gluten was really affecting my gut health, and your gut is just so important in just regulating, I guess, the rest of your system. If your gut is under strain, then your reproductive system. One thing that I realized when I was doing my research is that we don't need our reproductive systems. When you think about all the other systems that you've got in your body, they take priority over your reproductive system. Because if your other bodily systems are not working properly, your body kind of goes into a defense mode and says, well, you're clearly not right to be having babies at this point in time. And so I guess takes away the functions of the reproductive system in order to designate more time and energy and whatever to repairing other systems that are going on. So I really wanted to take the pressure off my other bodily systems so that my reproductive system did get that chance to repair, rebuild, etc. So really, I found almost immediately cutting out gluten, particularly cutting out oats, had such a drastic effect on my digestive system. One other thing that I got recommended was this Glow Inner Beauty Powder by the Beauty Chef. A friend of mine recommended it for acne, and because it's got a whole heap of probiotics in it, it is really good for gut health. So while I've been taking it for a couple of months now, maybe not every day, but at least every second to third day in a big glass of water, I haven't necessarily found that it has helped to reduce my acne per se, but I do really feel that in combination with cutting out the gluten, it has really helped in aiding my digestive system and helping me there. And I've also noticed that it could be a result of taking this. I'm not necessarily sure, but one of the symptoms of PCOS was hair loss. And yes, I am suffering from a significant amount of hair loss. I don't know if you can tell, but my plaits, if you put them, all my hair together in the one plait and put it in your hand, my whole lot of hair would probably be the equivalent to like one normal person's plait. So it's always been thin to begin with, but I've significantly lost a lot of hair. And I have noticed through taking this, through doing coconut oil masks, through drinking more water, and through having sort of a natural hair care routine, that while it hasn't prevented hair loss, it has aided in, I guess, increasing the quality of my hair. It feels thicker, it feels softer, and I guess more shiny and more natural. So I mean, that has nothing to do with PCOS, but I guess it's just a nice side effect that's happening from sort of sorting out my gut health. Another thing that I have been trying probably for about a couple of weeks or a month now is apple cider vinegar. Now, I did normally take a shot of this in water. It helps to sort of flush out your system and aid in gut health, but in doing my research into apple cider vinegar, I found out that it's also a really good face toner and is good to help out with breakouts. So what I've been doing at nighttime is, after I wash my face, just getting a little cotton ball and wiping the apple cider vinegar over my face. It sort of sinks in. I've only been using it for a couple of weeks, and I've been leaving it on overnight. At this stage, I also haven't found that it has helped with my acne, but I feel like I do want to give it a little bit more time to test out. But one of the things that I did here, sort of because of the citric acid in here, and also it's the same with lemon juice, if you wanted to use that as well, that they do allegedly help with reducing the appearance of freckles and scars. So at the end of the day, even if it's not helping my acne, I'm fingers crossed hoping that it is helping with my acne scars, which I do have quite a lot of. One of the other things that I found is tea tree oil. Because it's an antiseptic, I haven't been doing this in the last couple of weeks. I probably need to get back into this. But I found also, after I had a shower, before I put on my moisturizer, I was also getting a cotton ball and dabbing a little bit of this on my spots. Because it's a natural antiseptic and it's 100% pure, so there's no crap in this at all. It will help sort of reduce the bacteria in and around the pimple. And I just get like really into figuring out the why. So why do pimples exist? How do they happen? And so the thing that I have found, and also please comment below and tell me if this is completely wrong. This is just my brain's way of sorting it out. But you've got your pores, which we all know, which is your, I guess, skin's way of breathing. You excrete sweat through your pores, but you can also get lodged into your pores, makeup, bacteria, dead skin cells, and if those things build up inside a pore, they can cause an infection, and that infection is your pimple. So I believe that blackheads are just clogged pores, and whiteheads, your traditional pimples, are infected clogged pores, and the white that pass the sebum, the excess oils, I guess, is part of the infection. One thing I also found in doing my research about this is that sometimes if you squeeze a pimple, we know sometimes it can pop outwards and that's where you see the white stuff come out. But sometimes if it's not ready, it can actually burst inwards and spread that bacteria and that infection to surrounding pores. So I guess that's one of the reasons why people say not to pick at your skin. Obviously, other reasons could be scarring, the fact that you can have bacteria in your fingernails and make it worse. Personally, I find it really hard to not pick at my skin. I just get, I don't know, I just get like really itchy to attack it, which is so bad, I know. So my suggestion, if you're in the same boat as me and you've got this acne and you just need to get at it, is Wait till after you've had a shower. Then one, your fingers and skin will be clean. You won't have all that bacteria stuck in them. Two, the hot water from the shower will have opened your pores and hopefully made it easier for the gunk to come out. But then I would suggest putting something sort of like tea tree antiseptic oil on it straight away, so that it can heal. It's also important not to use pore clogging moisturizers and stuff like that. I love coconut oil. I use it on my body. I use it in a hair mask. However, if I were to use it on my face, it does block your pores, something chronic, so that would cause more breakouts. So just maybe research into some of the products you are using and see if they are pore clogging products. So this is kind of where I'm at. I've just been trying everything. I'm sorry if you guys were watching this video hoping for like a 1, 2, 3 step cure on how you can heal it. At this point, I haven't found that cure. If you have, let me know. I'm willing to try anything. But hopefully, at the very least, I have given you guys a bit of insight into the things that haven't worked for me, the things that kind of have worked, the things that I'm trying. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video or found it helpful, please give it a thumbs up because it really helps me out, and maybe subscribe to my channel for more health and wellness content. I upload a new video every single week. But for now, I hope you guys have a fantastic week, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye.